Hey everyone, Hans Sugren here. Hope everyone's doing well. Today, I wanted to talk a bit about, well, I wanted to talk about a topic in regards to, is your friendship a reward or a common good? And what is the difference, you might ask? Good question. Essentially, if your friendship is a reward, it means it's not just for everyone. It's for those that earned it. If your friendship is a common good, then you're essentially that kind of person who just wants to do right for everyone, you know? I just want to help everyone. I want everyone to like me. The last one, it's not a mindset that people tend to respect. Because what is the friendship of, what is the worth of someone who treats his or her friendship that way? That it can just be strewn around for the entire world. There's no meaning behind that. There's no real value behind it either. Someone, however, who is sparing in giving out friendship, now there is someone who has self-respect, someone who, hopefully keeps bad people away from him or herself. Therefore, maybe someone who's worth approaching. You see, in the movies, the villains are always these oppressive forces that you can't get away from. And in today's society, there is an element of that. But the good people still have a whole lot of control. And, that's something that happens less so in movies, is that the good guy, the good girl, the hero, you might say, can actually change his or her circles or his circles of the people around by himself or herself. No, there always has to be this helping outside force. Why? Sure, there are instances where that is actually the case. But for most part, for adults at the very least, there comes that point where you are able to say, you and you, you've always been good with me. You've always been upstanding people. I want you in my life. But the other heap, you are all selfish. You enjoy hurting others, maybe even. Or you're just completely apathic. You just don't care if people around you get hurt or not. Away from me. Think there is value in that? In that you may actually start doing so yourself? If you haven't already. It's a naive idea to believe that you're a good person because you just want to be friends with everyone. No, you're just like the saying goes, everyone's friend is everyone's fool. And the people who sincerely would want to be around you, you're actually endangering them as well. Did you realize that? Let's say you have a friend and he's a fireman. I don't know. He likes saving people out of burning buildings, and the pay is just a bonus. And he has always been good to you. He does it because he loves people. Because he's a good man. Or I suppose a good woman. I guess. And then, let's say, that same person who has befriended a fireman also befriends someone who likes to steal out of stores. Through you now become a sort of chain point for the fireman who saves people and for the thief who takes stuff that isn't his or isn't hers. Are you now a contributing factor to the fireman's life or not? Because in a way, when, let's say, the thief steals from the fireman, because you made that connection between the two possible. It's kind of your fault too. If the thief, runs off with the fireman's helmet, which may actually save his life. I mean, a bit of a silly example, I suppose, but I think everyone gets the idea, right? Whereas, if your friendship is the reward, you look at the fireman as like, hey, you're a good guy or a good girl, and I want you in my life. And the thief, it's like, hey, you look thief, maybe you want to change your ways first, and then we can look at that, but it has to be genuine. You really have to clean up, and you not just stop stealing, you actually make amends for the thefts you've already committed. And before any of, a second before that, I don't want you around me. There's power in that, And what is the thief going to say? No, I'll be there, whether you want to or not. I don't think so. Because then, even if, someone tries to force him or herself in your life, well, not only is it of course illegal, but it's, let's just look at it from a human perspective. The good man, the fireman, who likes saving people, is probably going to try to save you from, the thief who would perhaps force him or herself in your life. Interesting, isn't that? And that way, if you dole out your friendship, if you hand it out as an actual reward, if it's a prize and not just something that everyone can have at random, it's not only a reward for the good people around you, it's also a reward for yourself. I think that's an important skill. Been there myself from anecdote. I know plenty of good people, but they use their friendship as a common good, while they themselves were perfectly good people. Good hearts, good spirits. You know what I had to say to them? I think you can guess. And I know for some people, we live in an individualized society, and that means loneliness for many, many people. Young, old, it doesn't matter. Or actually it does matter. But it's for all ages. And for all, for men and women. And children. And with that loneliness, there are many who would make their friendship a common good. Oh yeah, please be my buddy. Please, I'm so lonely. Ooh. It's so much better to be alone than be in bad company. And of course I know that there, and it's very unfortunate for those who are lonely, who need social interaction to stay upbeat, to want to go through life. It's absolutely terrible. But what else is there to say for it? Then go to circles. You go look in circles all over the place, where you think, oh, maybe I can find good people here or there. I know people who, I'm kinda lucky, personally, so I suppose in a sense it's easy for me to say. I know many good people in my personal life, but there is something like the internet too. And it's perhaps kind of a band-aid over an open wound. But usually friendships take time. They're a process, an ongoing process. It's there shouldn't ever be a finality to friendship. The finality of friendship should be, not even death. I would argue. They say that friends until death. How about even beyond? Worth thinking about, no? I think so. It's, yeah. I see it so often. Good people who could have so much healthier and better lives if they only thought higher of themselves too, and realized that their friendship is a reward or should be a reward. I guess you need to love yourself in the first place though. And that is actually also very important. You cannot love anyone else before you love yourself. And that also means that other people cannot love you before they love themselves. That doesn't even really have to do with anything moral, so much as just with, I suppose, ego and liking who you are, which can be a bit complex, really. It's also why I would argue it's how shall one put it? Yeah. Don't think I have much else to add to that after all. But there you go. Is your friendship a reward or is the common good for everyone to consume? If you want to do right by others too, let's say you're a very selfless kind of person, and you have that ability to say to yourself, well, I don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I like myself, but I don't really, I don't really have a particular notion to put myself before anyone else. There are such people. And that goes with still wanting to live, still wanting to be happy and healthy, of course. But they want to think of others first. They find their joy that way. If you are very selfless like that, still, then be selfless for the right people, for the moral and the good people that you want in your life. Selflessness is a very rare trait among what you might say villains. Which actually brings me to another topic, but that's for another video. Yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to share on that. Hope it's been helpful, hope it's been a bit insightful. I know from experience that the beginning is going to be a bit tough. You may actually end up completely by yourself. That is a total possibility depending on how your life went. But here is the other aspect to it. If you then persist and you're determined in finding good people, you're going to show up. And never signal that you're completely alone, because that's what human predators look for. People by themselves to take advantage of. Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah. You all have a good one. I'm gonna sign off, enjoy my walk, and till the next one. Have a good one, guys.